Now on the Wink News Night Beat.
The survival stories you haven't heard yet. A high school senior gets out moments before a tornado destroys his room.
I didn't get out of the door maybe 30 seconds, like my roof is floating in the sky.
A tornado crosses a family's path while they're on their way to a baseball game.
It was scary. We saw it forming. You can see it's like the clouds were just there. We just knew.
Now the recovery after 5 different tornadoes touched down in Southwest Florida.
We'll make it. We'll do it. We'll rebuild.
But first tonight at 11, that blue on the map can mean only one thing. It is getting cold out there. Hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Safati.
And I'm Amanda Hall. The kids will need to bundle up when they head to the bus stop in the morning. Wink News Chief Meteorologist Matt Devitt leads us off tonight. Matt, how cold are we talking?
We're going to be talking about some 40s and 50s, and to the likes of which some of us haven't seen in about 290 days. Compared to yesterday at this time, temperatures 5, 10. Look at Immokalee and Ave Maria, 16 degrees colder. They're in the upper 40s already, and it's not even midnight. 57 in Fort Myers, 52 and dropping for Punta Gorda, and Clewiston live at 49. Rain a non-factor for tonight and into tomorrow morning. Here's a look at our town-by-town lows. 41 Arcadia, 42 LaBelle. You'll notice the colder air is going to be especially near the interstate, east and inland. 48 for Golden Gate. And more 40s on the way for Port Charlotte and Punta Gorda. But tomorrow, a beautiful day. Chilly to start, plenty of sunshine and dry by the afternoon. But we do have a storm system later this week. We'll talk about it coming up.
Breaking news tonight at 11, a person is dead after they were hit by a car on a bike tonight. When we arrived here, you could see the mangled bike on the side of the road, and MLK westbound was closed down at French Street. We're working to find out more information on exactly how it happened.
Tonight, these tornadoes are long gone. They lasted just minutes, but their scars will take months to heal.
Among the hardest hit is the Iona area. The strongest of the 5 tornadoes, an EF2, touched down there yesterday morning. And new at 11 tonight, we're hearing from a high school senior who made it out of his room with just seconds to spare. His bed and dresser are all that's left behind. We have live team coverage tonight as recovery efforts ramp up across Southwest Florida. Let's start with the Night Beat's Gail Levy along Water Lane. And Gail, you spoke with that teenager tonight.
Chris, this is Caleb's room, or at least it used to be. Sunday morning, he was laying in his warm bed when he was faced with a cold reality. Now his life is covered with shattered glass, blinds, and metal that used to hold his 4 walls together. And this part of the house is a total loss. As for what's next, he doesn't know. It's up in the air, just like how most of his belongings were this weekend. The baby shoes, the pictures, the homemade gifts ripped away from Caleb White.
I don't really have anything anymore. This is where I slept. This is where I lived. I mean, it ain't there anymore.
It's out here. It's in the trees. It's streets away. It's not something most high school seniors worry about 5 months from graduation.
Finding all my baby shoes and my clothes in neighbor's yard is pretty bad.
And as heavy as the physical pieces are,
all this stuff came out of right there. There was a dresser right there with some clothes in it.
The emotional pieces are heavier.
All my stuff just like got disrespected and thrown away, thrown outside. Like, I don't know. I don't think I deserved it. I didn't do anything wrong.
If you ask his mom, she'll say he's done everything right.
I'm very proud of him. I mean, and that's why, like, it hurts that he goes through this stuff because he's such a good kid.
A good kid who's had a bad couple of days, but not so bad that he forgot what really matters.
Is there anything you think you've learned, particularly about having this storm turn your life upside down?
Respect all your family and respect everyone you love and tell them you love them as much as you can.
And Mom told me the insurance adjuster will be out here on Wednesday, and she is praying that this house is salvageable. If that's the case, they're hoping to get Caleb a trailer or a camper that they can put out in the front yard for him to live in. But until then, they don't know what's next. But all they can do is pray for the best. Live on the Night Beat, Gail Levy, Wink News Now.
Gosh, you feel for him. All right, thank you, Gail. Iona is feeling the impact from the storm tonight. Communities are coming together to help with the cleanup. We continue our team coverage with the Night Beat's Zach Oliveri at Century 21 Mobile Home Park. Zach, how are people starting to recover there?
Amanda, they're still cleaning up the damage and making a plan to rebuild their lives. And as you can see, they still have a lot of work to do. When Paula Serbaugh saw this destruction for the first time, it was heartbreaking.
We don't have a roof. The roof was completely lifted off, and it's in the backyard, and it goes as high as the trees. It was taken off in a solid piece.
Serbaugh flew down from Michigan on Monday, hoping for the best, preparing for this.
And we just kept holding out that it wasn't as bad, or that we weren't one of those homes.
The damage crushing, especially since the family has been working on the house the past year for her 85-year-old father.
Our front, which was my dad's favorite area to sit, you know, with his rocking chair. His chair is still there.
Hope in the midst of all this destruction. That's what many people in the Century 21 Mobile Home Park in Iona are trying to do as they work to answer what's next.
I'm sure that supplies in the area are just going to be overwhelmed, difficult to get, finding the help.
It's been rush, and with phone calls you can't get through, and it's like you just got to wait for another day.
Marvin Steele spent Monday trying to get a hold of his insurance company. With no power and debris everywhere, he had to find a new place to stay.
I have a daughter just down the road here a little ways, and I'm going there.
For Serbaugh, she doesn't know how long the recovery will take, but she remains optimistic for her father.
We'll do it. We'll rebuild, and I'll have my dad down here as soon as I can and out of the Michigan weather.
We were at some of the hardest hit areas earlier today, and people I spoke with have already started to make living arrangements. Some are in hotels, others are living with relatives, and they don't even want to think about how long this rebuild is going to take. Live on the Night Beat, Zach Oliveri, Wink News Now.
Yeah, a lot of work ahead, Zach. Thank you. Take a look at this home in the community of Cottage Point. Parts of the roof torn off here. The garage door at the end of the driveway. The homeowner stayed inside all day yesterday. Wink News was with them today when they saw the damage outside of their home for the first time.
It kind of broke my heart because we just had it all fixed up.
Darlene Bandy says despite the heartbreak, she knows all of this is replaceable, but her neighbors' lives are not.
A man in this mobile home park huddled inside with his family while the tornado ripped through this community. He says they hugged and they prayed. Lee Anderson's home was among the ones damaged in the Century 21 Mobile Home Park in Iona. He says he still can't believe they made it out alive.
It was just like a freight train. It only lasted seconds, but glass was all over, and when my granddaughter was sleeping, there's glass all over the bed if she was there. It was awful.
Anderson says he's staying with friends for the time being.
Another harrowing experience during one of the tornadoes. A family driving on I-75 to a baseball game when they saw this cross their path. Night Beat's Amanda Porter joins us in the studio now. Amanda, what was that moment like for them?
Extremely scary and surreal for the Porter-Latin family to witness up close and personal this tornado that crossed right in front of their SUV. Several alerts to their cell phones warned them to beware of this tornado as they saw it with their own eyes.
These dark clouds in the distance looked a little different.
It was crazy because on the left side, you can see like these dark clouds.
A family driving to Naples on Alligator Alley pulled over and found themselves in traffic with a tornado.
Went right in front of us and went to the right. Like as fast as it formed, it's as fast as it went.
The Porter-Latin family got a front row view as the twister crossed the road.
We were scared, but my mom slowed down. She stopped on the side, and then it just was like, oh my God, what's gonna happen?
Mother Catherine told me other drivers kept going.
She stopped, she pulled over, and she slowed down, and you can see the cars in front of us. I mean, the cars on the left side just went right past it, completely through it. So the ones in front of us slammed on their brakes.
They even saw a Walmart truck flipped over on the highway.
The tornado was actually in the street, as like on the road when the tractor trailer was going through it.
Wink News showed you the images live yesterday, right after the tornado passed through.
Thank God that it didn't actually come towards us and we were, able to get away from it.
FHP says the driver of that Walmart semi had minor injuries. Another FHP trooper also had an up-close view of the tornado. They shared this video from the trooper's dash camera as he raced towards danger. Chris?
Amanda, thank you. And not too far from there, neighbors spent a lot of the day cleaning up after 3 different tornadoes touched down in Collier County yesterday morning. This is the Victoria Falls neighborhood in East Naples. Some roofs are patched tonight, debris in a lot neater piles than it was earlier today, but there's still a lot of work to be done. And if you have debris from the storm you need to throw away, Lee County is opening up a drop-off site. It's along A&W Bulb Road. The site will be open daily starting tomorrow from 9 in the morning until 6. It's open through next weekend. Only people from the storm-affected area will be allowed. No contractors or commercial drivers. The site will take construction and demolition debris and horticultural debris.
The American Red Cross is helping with the cleanup and providing meals to people who lost their homes. They gave out 300 meals today. 27 Red Cross volunteers went into the hardest hit areas to assess the damage. They gave out emergency supplies like cleanup kits, buckets, and totes. The Red Cross says your donations go a long way to helping our neighbors.
The other way to support and help the Red Cross, if maybe a financial donation is not an option, is to consider becoming a Red Cross volunteer.
Volunteers also help provide emotional support to the tornado victims today.
And our recovery is just beginning for all of these neighbors. A lot of you have already been asking how you can help out. We have a list of resources as the cleanup gets underway, all for you on the Wink News app.
Now, people may try to take advantage of this damage. Still ahead, how you can spot a phony contractor.
And our community celebrates Martin Luther King Jr. Day, how a group honored his fight for equal rights.
And right after the break, we look at another community affected by the tornadoes, what people here say they're most thankful for. Next.